walked in, there's our house, there's the gate, and I never come up this way, so I thought I'm going to come this way, and I just walked up on this, and it's very windy. But, well, first of all, these two sticks are placed at these angles, and right in the middle is this, and they're stuck in the ground. See, that would have been a 1, 2, 3, probably an 8 point, and then right over here is the other one, and it's also stuck in the ground, and I mean, it is tight. In case that is theirs, I guess I'm not going to take them. That's really neat. And I mean, they have been like shoved down in the ground so hard, I can't even pull them up. I'm going to look around in there a little bit too. Go up there. But I guess I should look at this a little better. Yeah, that. See, this one's grew there, but this one, I don't think it did. Ooh, it's cold. Okay. I'm gonna go on. I believe this is a new arch. I came down to get the recorder that I left out last night. It was down in those woods. And I just wanted to come up here and look around. And this looks like a new arch. And it's pinned right there. Pretty cool. Look around and see what else I can find. Kind of wondering where this uprooted tree came from because I don't see anywhere here where there's a hole. Could be missing it though. But I really don't see any spot. And it's about, let's see, where is that arch? Oh, arch is right there. Okay, just up the hill from where I last was, there's another arch that's pinned right here. And I'll go around up the hill from it is another one. Oh, right there. And it's also pinned. Go look at it. I think I've seen this one before. Maybe like a year ago or something. But it's definitely a pinned arch. As you can see, it goes into all that mess. And that's still it. So, it's pretty awesome. Ooh. Oh my. Look there. 2 low snaps right beside each other. Cool. Oh wow. That one's old. This one's pretty new. Doing this on my phone because I didn't bring my camcorder. I didn't plan on exploring much. But I usually can't help myself. Kind of glad I did though. This is pretty cool. See 2 breaks right beside each other. And 2 arches. That one. And the one behind it, the littler one. Trying to show it. Well, it's back in there anyways. Alright, I gotta take my battery. Just down from those arches. The hill, I was just up there. It's a little break right here. Okay, I was checking this glyph out this morning. I'll put pictures up because now there's shadows going across it, but it's warm. So I can be out here a little longer. I want to show you details on it. Okay, this is one stick here. This is one stick. That's a stick. And then there's 2 Y sticks pointing the same direction and laying right beside each other. And then just above that is another Y stick pointing the other direction. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sticks. There's this one, this one, And this one, you see how it makes that same angle? And then just down from that is another Y stick with a stick here. So seems to be too many precise angles and things that match and things. It just seems too purposeful, and it seems like the odds would be pretty high against it happening naturally. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 Y sticks, at least 4. That little section with the perfect placement, and it's got an overall, looks like a design of some sort. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Just to show an example of what I think is not, and that is natural, this. These are just sticks laying on the ground. There's no form, there's no anything, you know, lining up, matching. It's just sticks laying on the ground. And 9 times out of 10, it is just natural. But I just want to give you an overview of what I don't think is a glyph. I don't think everything's a glyph. Here's some more sticks that I just think are random and natural. There's some more over there. You know, when you have a bunch of trees in your yard, you're going to have sticks on the ground. But when they start forming into patterns, then you got to start thinking something caused it to form the patterns. Okay, we're down at the lake. We just came in the woods. Had to walk a little bit. We're starting to see some stuff. Now on my way in, there's that little arch, but I wasn't 100% sure because it's got that limb on it that looks like it could have fallen and done that. Then walked up the hill, and there's another small-ish one. Ow! Stupid briars. Right here. And it's also pinned under a limb about the same size. And then, just up from those is this. Okay, it's arched. Starts here, goes up, and it's got a limb, or a log, I don't know what to call it, stuck up through it, holding it there. Then you also got this leaning. It's a big Y stick. You got a leaner here, and then this is coming up that way too. Not very far from those arches is this partial skull from a deer. Also a big Y stick up against that tree. Okay, when we were followed that time, we were up there, right, Jim?
Yeah.
And so they were moving around down here. So this is what we're checking out. And right there is possible huge arch. Okay, we're up on the hill, and that's that arch I just pointed out, and I just noticed that behind it, those two great big logs make an X, too. So this is interesting. It's a big Y branch leaning up against this other tree that's also a Y. It makes a pretty cool shape. Jim found this possible track, we're not sure. I pulled the leaves out of it, and it measures 17 inches, 16 or 17, if that's what it is. But right there, sure looks like a big toe. And none of the toes would have hit that rock. So, yeah. Right in line where we found that footprint is an impression, and it's really hard to see because it's just in the leaves. But it measures 16 inches too, or 17, and there is the same look of the round big toe like was up in the other track. Here's a stick in the ground. It's only in there about that far, but it is stuck in, and it's right down the hill from where we found these footprints and stuff. We're going back to the car, and here's a big old break. It's probably 10 feet up. We're on our way out, and there's this arrow stuck in the ground. We don't know if a hunter put it there or what. Would you say it is a crossbow bolt? Crossbow bolt. I mean, he could have missed and it landed there, or maybe Bigfoot found it and stuck it in the ground. I'm seeing impressions in this thick grass too. And look, that looks like where the toe was, the big toe. It's pretty down deep, and it's also 12, 13, 14, 15, about 15 inches or so. There's another one. Okay. Big toe would be right there. And it's also same size. Another possibility, that would be where the big toe went. Comes back. And it's about the same length. Oh boy, look at that. Okay, big toe. Toes. We're losing light. Jim's in the car. Doggone it. There's another one. Oh my God, look. Toe. 18 inches. They're all over the place right here. Okay, I'm back looking for the impressions that I missed. Now this one's possibly a toe, and it's pushed down, and it's 17 inches long. But there's a piece of stick right there, so it would have gone over that, and the toe would have gone down in there. Here's another impression. This would be the big toe would have been there. See, it's hard to see it. That's bent, pushed down in, and then this is laid down back to here. So all in all, it's 12, 13, 14, about 15 inches. Okay, there's a break. Kind of looks, I wonder if it was twisted, I'm not sure. But it is broken down. Right behind it's a little tiny snap. Okay, here is a tree that's got a break and an arch. It's pinned under that vine. There's the break. And right beside it is another arch. I'm gonna go check it out. See, it's pinned under there. And look how this comes down. Parallel, and then it has something going across it. There's a little branch. That's a pretty nice arch. Pinned under that piece of, it's off of here. It's a big one. There's also a leaner. Hold on. Okay, what we got here? Okay, this was a tree that was growing here. Not sure if that was growing. I think that was growing. But this is stuck up through. Just below this arch. Okay, not far from the arch I was just showing you is the, oh, it's kind of hard to get it all in here. Okay, there's that Y stick. And it's leaning onto that part of this tree. This whole tree is involved right here. And then there's another stick that's resting here, right there. It comes down and is also resting on this one that I just showed you. So, kind of complicated. Made of a bunch of Y sticks. So. Okay, Jim was following a deer trail in. You can see it right there. It comes from the power line right away. And it goes right under what looks like a possible X. There's also a possible leaner. And, oh yes, there's a snap right there. Okay, here's a leaner probably, and it makes a bit of an X just down from that other one. Yeah, I don't see where this one came from. It's laid in there just right. And there's a break. Pretty high up on that tree too. Well, there's another break. A little snap. See? And that. Okay, I'm not sure what to make of this either, but that is broken over and looks really super old. But it comes down, and then there's another one that goes across it, makes an X, and there's also like one arching through it. So, okay, there is a stick stuck in the ground, and look over here, and there's leaners everywhere. Oh, right behind us is a break. That's about 7 feet up, and a little one here. And so they're sticking the ground. A couple breaks. It looks like leaners all over the place. Over there's one. Possible arch, which is pinned. Possible track, Jim just found. And I'm going to clean it out after we measure it. Put the stick down by it. Or here, I'll do it. You think that's the left side? Is it a right foot, you think?
I thought it was a right foot, if it is one.
Okay, if it is one, it's at least 12 inches. Okay, I cleaned it out. And it's bigger, cleaned out. It's approximately 15 or 16 inches. That would be the toe, big toe. And there is, like, right here, an area where it looks like toes. And it's pressed down. So, it's possible. Okay. As you can see, that's a possible arch, but it might have been made by this tree falling and this one too. Okay, now that I'm looking at that arch from this angle, I notice that it's got a wide end, and I find those all the time. Pinned arches with a wide end. So, that's interesting. Here's another possible arch. Possible. I was looking at that because it looks like a foot impression in this creek. I'm trying to get my stick down there. Ugh. And yeah, that's about 16 inches. And then right here, well, I can't measure it, but there's the right here. Looks like where it stepped with its left foot. And that's pretty far in between. Okay, that looks like a footstep right there. I can't see behind her, but it looks like there might be another one. And Jim just pointed this out. Right down from it's a... something's been sitting there.
Could be a deer bed.
Could be a deer bed, but he was also saying it'd be a good place to sit and watch for deer. So, moving on, it's getting dark. Ugh. Sure does look like a big old foot.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't see back. It's Monday, December 24th, 7:31 a.m. And I was up last night at 11:30. I checked my chair continuously during the day, and I checked it before I went to sleep at 11:30. There's nothing in it. But this morning, there was a little gift in my chair, and it's one of those orange Nerf bullets. And I've never been so happy to see one of those in my life. Okay, now here's a little story behind it. I think it had been 8 days since they'd done anything. And they still haven't done anything on the back porch. Well, I haven't checked the back porch yet. But I was getting a little antsy again. So last night and yesterday I walked around and I talked to him. Told him I missed him and I waved him up. Said, come back to the porch, you know, and come up. And then last night I sat in my chair for a while and listened. Didn't hear anything. And then I got up with my FLIR and I walked all around and I walked to the top of the hill and everything and just looking, and I saw a rabbit and 3 deer. But I didn't see anything else. And anyhow, I'm just kind of surprised and happy that, I don't know, maybe it worked. I mean, the last time I motioned to them and talked to them and stuff, they brought that other ball thing, clay thing. So I'm super happy, and I'm gonna go check the back porch, see if anything happened back there. I also want to look around for footprints. I don't remember seeing these on the porch. There's been another stick on the porch, but these ones I don't think I remember. 2 tiny little Y sticks. Okay, so I'm all done checking. Nothing happened on the back porch, and it's been nothing happened back here since the 3rd still. We're back in the same area as the 23rd, but we're going around the hill, so it's a different way. Following the deer trail, and there's a little snap right here. Just up the hill from that is this thing. There are multiple breaks. Now, I don't know if that's natural or not, but it's one tree and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 breaks that I see. 5. I just passed that little sapling that was broken off. And There's a little arch right there. Actually, two of them. Look, one there and one there. Both pinned. Let's see. But what I stopped for is this. And I don't know. I'm recording it, but it's probably natural, but I don't know. But it's big. But I don't know, the way they're kind of laid over there kind of is interesting to me. Seems to be other sign right around here too. Like there's a little arch. Bunch of stuff broken over. Then you got some going through there. There's one broken over. There's one broken, I think, or bent over that log. It's over the top. I think I'll take my time and look around here for a minute. There's a beaut of an arch right there. Pinned right over there. And right here is an old break, but it might be natural. I'm following the hunter's trail up here, there's tacks and stuff. And right there's a possible break. And there's a possible horizontal stick. But we think we can see the deer stand up here, so we're going to go check that out. See if there's any sign around it. That looks a little odd. Tree stand right over here. I just checked, and that's a stick stuck in the ground. It looks like it came from that stick. I suppose they could just break it off and stuck it in the ground. It's too deep to have just... I had to pull pretty hard. It's too deep to have done it by itself. Here in the middle of the woods, I found a bag of gravel. It's been ripped into. Can't imagine a person carrying that in. What do you think that weighs, Jim? What do you suppose that weighs?
I don't know.
What would be the purpose if a person would bring...
That.
Huh?
I can't answer that.
Well,
I wouldn't carry Claire here.
very weird. This doesn't look natural. You got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 logs leaning onto that big tree that fell. it's leaning on that tree. And then there's the one in the middle of it, all kind of arched. And it all comes together there. Okay, now we're down below that thing I was filming earlier. And I was just noticing this. This was stuck up in there somehow. After the fact, because that stuff's all old and this is newer looking. And right there, it's a pretty good break. I don't see anything that would have fallen on that or anything either. There it is close up. That looks interesting too, because there's two trees going through the fork of that tree, and there's one sticking up through those the other way. And we're right up from the deer stand. It's basically, there's things marking all around that tree stand. That looks like a fairly large arch. Actually, it's really large. It's going uphill and it looks pinned up on the hill right there. Just a second. Just down from that arch, Jim found what looks like a couple prints in this mud hole. This one is 12 inches. That would be the toes area. This is the heel. There's also one, looks like partial one right there. And I believe he said he saw one over here, but I'm not locating it at the moment. But these are pretty much right in line. This one looks pretty darn good, babe.
What?
I said this one looks pretty good. Do you see it up close? Look at that beautiful arch. Why don't you check that out closely? Okay, that log fell from right there. It's a pretty big tree to bow over, but it's pinned right there. Right there looks like another possible track, and it is also about 12 inches. Jim said there's another one maybe down here. Where? Another possibility that's 12 inches. We're on our way down to the bottom. If you can see the water down there, but there's a little break. Okay, there you can see it better. It's actually a good 12 feet off the ground. Two possible leaners. Two different trees. So right over there's the two leaners I just showed you, and right here is a stick in the ground. It's about 3 feet long. Definitely stuck in. Right here is about a 10-foot stick stuck in the ground. I pulled it out. It's definitely stuck in the ground. There's another stick stuck in the ground. It's about 4 feet long. Right there's a break. Heading up in there to check something out. Okay, there's a tree stand right there. There's also one right there. Now, there's a leaner right there pointing at that one. And this is pointing in the general vicinity of that one, a little bit to the right of it. Another possible leaner. I think I see an X up here. Right there. That's what I've been coming to try to see. Wow, that's cool. Perfect little X. Probably made with 2 of the limbs that fell. Because the rest are all laying that way. To the right of the X, I'm seeing a possible arch. I want to go check it out. Definitely is an arch. It's pinned right over here. It's big. But right behind it is a big break, really high up. And that looks like a possible leaner. I think it's interesting that that arch is being pinned by 2 different logs. This one is pinning it there, and that one from the other direction is pinning it right there. Pretty cool. Okay, here we have a whole dead deer carcass. And come here, Jim. Ow. It appears that the legs are broken. Don't they?
So one over there by where you are is.
That one.
I don't see the front one.
And then, well, here's,
Oh, I see one.
there's whatever, that's broken, like broken back. You see that?
The back's here.
This right here. What? My God. There's limbs going every direction. Would this be from like a hunter that killed it? I don't see any arrows, or could have been shot, I suppose, but what do you think? The leg's broken like that, that's kind of weird. deer carcass is right up there. And right over here, a possible X. We're right here beside all this wet area where the creek comes down. And right here, the limb on this tree is pinned. Right over here under this really, really old thing. I mean, that's old, old. So that had to be like picked up and then with that pinned under it. If this is a track, and that would be where the toe would go right there. It's measuring 18 inches. And I want to look up here. There's another possibility, but I'm not sure. And it's also about 18 inches. Another possible one, I see a toe pushed down there. That one's measuring 15. If it is one. Okay, that's the one I just measured. It's 18. Then I saw beside that 15 this, but I wasn't sure if it might be that same one. Let's see, be the toe. And it is about 17 or 18 inches, because it's hard to totally measure it because it looks kind of like a partial. It's right up from that other huge 18-inch one. Right there. That's another impression. It looks like the toe would have pushed in the grass right there. Kind of hard to see any toes because it's in the grass, but it comes back to right here. It's pushed down in, and it's 18. Sunday, December 30th, 5:42 p.m. And I just got up from a nap because I had a headache. And before I went in, I talked to them. Told them to come up to the porch because I was going to go take a nap, and I missed them. Waved them up, and they came up. They put the 2 magnets on the grill. I am so happy because they haven't been doing anything like that, and they haven't messed around on the back porch since the 3rd. So I'm ecstatic. Everything else appears to be the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Everything else appears to be the same. So I just have it set up right now.